beach again. Nice. Cat! 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 Right, hello everyone, welcome back to the vlog for the driving lessons. Again, like last time, I'll probably merge lesson 10 and 11 because honestly, nothing new really happened.
Well, there are a few things actually, but whatevs.
What is this question mark thing? Not question mark, I don't know what this is. Flashing. I'll have a look. What is this?
Come in, Michael.
Oh, right.
Hey, thanks, Doc.
How have you been?
Oh, good. Things been good. No, actually, things ain't been good.
So what exactly has been the problem?
I'm not good, Doc. Not good at all. Right over the fucking edge. I pulled this Mexican's house right off the fucking hill.
You feel the need to explain your decisions, Michael. Take responsibility. You're plainly addicted to chaos.
Well, I'm not sure that's true, Doc. I'm not exactly enjoying myself here. The only way I'm content and competent is with a gun in my hand or a price on my head.
You're very defensive, Michael. Do you consider yourself a failure?
I pay you to listen to my problems. I'm rich, I'm miserable. I mean, half the time my kids can't stand me, the other half, my wife is cheating on me. I kill people without remorse, Doc. Hell, I'm pretty average for this town, really. Wait a minute, that's the shot. I think I'm having a breakthrough here, Doc.
That's really all we have time for.
Okay, well, sorry about that. So, I need to get a car again. Oh, there's the pier. Okay, I vaguely know where I am now. So I might, as I'm walking towards... Oh, God. Lesson 10 was just practice at Junctions. It wasn't anything particularly special. I didn't really learn anything new. It was pretty much get used to using the clutch and that to, like, take off quickly, then just to make sure to look where you're going. And that was it. I was quite tired that day, but in general, I think it was perfectly fine. And what also kept hitting hard when doing that was that the car doesn't have the acceleration that my bike has. In areas where I could, like, confidently quickly take off, there's like this junction near the town. Each time I drive now and have to set off here, I have to realise that I can't do it as quickly as I normally can. That was mostly that day. I mean, I can tell you a technique which she tried to teach me about being able to set off quickly, but I kind of want to get this car first. Oh, that's a classic car, isn't it? Where do you wander off to? Are these beach toilets? No, it's lifeguards. Okay. Why the barbed wire? Well, this is Los Santos. So it's so nice looking, this game. Still, how old is it now? What, 3 years? 4 years?
Every time I think about moving back to Broker, my eczema starts acting up.
Cool.
Welcome to my shop, honey. Do you know how you want it done?
Yep, do that. Yep, cool, that'll do. I think when I first played this game, it was Franklin's turn to play, and I tried to go in the shop, but it was in Bala country, and I think I accidentally walked into one of them, and then they started chasing me, and I tried to go into a barber thinking, oh, the cinematic for the barber will make them go away. Nope, they followed in, and then she ran off, and I could not get a haircut. So I hope I'm not going to be walking through. This happened yesterday, didn't it? Don't know what's going on here, honestly. It just seems to be Scream Corner. I'm kind of getting to the end of my vlogs now. I think, so there's this video, and then it was literally the test. I mean, I'll sum it up at the very end when I'm done with the test vlog with another cat. But I hope this has been useful to some people, or at least entertaining. Yeah, I think it was fun. I think it was worth doing. It's a milestone, and I kind of wish I did this with the bike when I was learning that. But since I was doing this channel, I thought it would be a nice addition. There's loads of cats tonight. I wonder if I'll ever find a blister car. Barbecues? Nice. Oh. It's not. It's also a bit big, but whatever, let's do this. Alright. Yeah, so this is obviously a big hatchback. It's not the same size as a Clio at all. But I mean, a lot of the cars I've got from this game aren't the same. It's just trying to give some context. But oh good, this will work I suppose. Right, so what I said about clutch technique, which maybe I should have said this before on like the first lesson. But what you can do... Why do people always scream here? So let's say this situation, so there's a red light, it's a stop, but then what you can do, you can hold the clutch on the biting point with the brake on. You don't necessarily need the handbrake, just hold your foot on the main brake. Okay, I've missed my chance there. So when you're stopped at a traffic light, hold down the foot brake, and then with the clutch, just slowly bring it up until you can kind of feel the car judder a little bit, and if you can just hold your foot on the brake there, and to check that you've got the biting point, you can just slowly release the brake, and then you can like control it all on your foot, and it's fine. I was putting that into more effect this time, and yeah, it helps a lot, and I use it all the time. I actually don't use the handbrake very much at all. I would say that's mainly useful for hill starts and such. But yeah, that was the only new thing that happens that lesson. So really, lesson 10 vlog is over. So lesson 11, which I kind of want to wait until it's morning. I think I will spray this car so it's blue at least, same colour. One of the last lesson vlogs I'll do is actually driving properly, so taking actual notice of taking notice of all the traffic light systems, and I'll try and work out exactly how it works. I think this is my favourite customs shop, it seems.
What miracle did you want me to perform?
You can just respray it, that's fine. Speaking of which, I think I've got to do my MOT for my car soon. I would have to arrange that. What we're doing? No. Oh, there's two colours for this. Oh, that's awful. Okay, cool, there we go. So I'll drive around until it's morning. And the next section is actually dual carriageways, which I have touched on a bit in the video logs. I was actually quite nervous about this. I mean, even on the bike, I understand how dual carriageways work, but I never felt comfortable. I think on the bike, because you're very vulnerable on the bike, and then when you have loads of trucks just passing by, it's not pleasant. And I think I kept that worry for the car dual carriageway, and I mean I still didn't really enjoy the dual carriageway. It was fine, as I said, I understand how they work. I mean, I could spend my entire life never going on dual carriageways if I want to, but you really shouldn't be living like that, with a sort of fear and avoidance of situations. I mean, for some parts of parking, I probably wouldn't go after, like the parallel park. I probably wouldn't really want to use that. I'd rather have a proper parking place. And I don't often go into main streets of towns, and if I do, I might just get a parking ride bus or something. Dual carriageways are everywhere, and they kind of class as motorways as well. So I'm actually going on the dual carriageway now, but as I said, I'd rather explain it in the daytime, and there isn't really much to explain, honestly. Let's see, is there anything else I can talk about? Yeah, so all the lessons so far were in the towns I knew, but the place where my actual test was going to be was a huge city, which I had never been to before, and I heard that it has a big one-way system, and people saying yes, it's difficult, so I was a bit wound up about what that would be like. But yeah, that was my first outing to the big city, me driving from my house, and it was interesting. So what we did, we actually drove to the test centre, because he thought, oh, you can have a look and see what it's like and see how I feel, etc. So yeah, we've seen the test centre, and it looked exactly the same as the test centre I had for my bike. They usually have what seems to be tennis courts at these places, which is where the motorbikes do their Module 1 training, which is like controlled manoeuvres, figure of 8, slalom, things which you wouldn't actually do in real life. I wasn't really worried about that. I was just anxious about the dual carriageway training. I mean, as I'm driving bike now, isn't technically correct. It's just driving in the city at night, which honestly, I look forward to doing. There's like a few lists of things I'm actually excited to do now that I've got the car. I've already done a few of them. Yesterday, in fact, when I was driving home, there was this huge rainstorm and it actually started hailing. Although it's dangerous, I was actually looking forward to driving in them sort of conditions. It was kind of safe because there was traffic queues, so it wasn't like I was doing 50 on a very heavily rainy roads. I was maybe like doing 30 or something. But yeah, just the patter of the rain on the windscreen, having to use the wipers. It's an experience. What else? So obviously I'm looking forward to a tunnel. Going in a tunnel in a car, because even as a kid that was amazing and it's so exciting. But I'm kind of like to experience driving onto a ferry, a car ferry, so I'd have to plan a holiday or something at some point where I go in a ferry. Simple things like putting down the seats in the car so I can transport a big bit of furniture, which will probably happen at some point soon. Well, it's nearly morning, but there's just certain situations you would like to be in, and as I said in another episode, I'm not actively seeking these things. It's pretty much just going to be whenever things happen, take the opportunity. But yeah, I kind of want a quiet bit of the carriageway to explain it. This probably isn't the best place because we need to sort of merge onto lanes and probably have to go into the centre of town or somewhere. I still have vivid memories of driving this car, playing GTA Online with a friend. I think we were in like this pickup truck and he did something bad because that's what he does. And we had he had 5 stars and I had like 4 stars or something. And we were being chased by helicopters, SWAT teams, and he was basically in this truck shooting as I was driving on this road to get into town to try and lose them. And I always get reminded of that each time I play this, and it was really good fun. We did lose them eventually, but I think it ended with they pursued us all the way to the beach, and then I decided to drive in the beach, and then I got us stuck. But I think we survived. Right, so let me get my brain together. There's like slip roads here, but these are particularly big roads. So one interesting fact is that dual carriageways, the actual phrase, it doesn't mean 2 lanes. It refers to the central section, and dual being 2. So it's basically like 2 barriers in the middle of a road, but dual carriageway doesn't necessarily mean 2 lanes. So that's one definition. These are highways, they're like really big. Like, is this merging? No, this isn't accurate. Well, it is actually. Shit, I missed my chance. Imagine doing this. Merging. This is the first thing you do to get on a dual carriageway. Usually you do it from a roundabout. And there isn't a roundabout there's a crossroads, but anyway. So using all your skills which you've learned, using mirrors, signal, following distance, junctions, all that sort of stuff. They can be 2 or 3 lanes, and the speed limit for dual carriageways is 70 in the UK, which for some reason I kept forgetting, so I was doing like 60. Key to the traffic is good observations, assess traffic ahead, and use your mirrors to check, and also being able to control your speed properly. So that's basically it in a junction, in a nutshell. I'm not sure what they're called. Are they called cat's eyes in the US as well? But in between lanes on a dual carriageway or motorway, you have little cat's eyes with different colours on. So the main colours I think are red, green and white or yellow. Basically they're different colours so that if you're driving at night, say it's very bad conditions but you can only see the lights, you can use it to determine where you actually are. Well, the white cat's eyes means it's in between lanes. If you see red on, it'll mean that you're towards the left of the dual carriageway, and then green signifies an entrance from a slip road. So when that happens, just make sure to look before you do that. So back to this, slip roads. You're using this lane to build up speed similar to the road. So a good way to speed up quickly is to stay in lower gears for as long as possible and then just work your way through them. The idea is that you then merge onto the road. What is this song? Merge onto the road with other vehicles, so you have to look before you go out, and those on the dual carriageway have priority. You have to sort of time it nicely, look for a gap. So traffic isn't too bad at the moment, so let's go. I'll do this slowly. On the slip road, let's say we're at like 50. So you would keep looking this way, and then as soon as you see a gap, like now, you can merge and go onto it. And that's it. It's fairly easy. It's a bit nerve-wracking if you've got other cars in front or near you, or on the bridge. Oh, that's another thing. I would love to be on the bridge in the car. So that's it. That's joining. Afterwards, you're just doing like up to 70 miles an hour. You have two lanes. Dual carriageways. In the UK, the left-hand lane is a normal driving lane. So you would expect to see any vehicle on there, and like cars or caravans can only use that lane. Trucks can call it. It's also called the crawler lane as well, the left side. And then the right hand side, or lane after that, is the overtaking lane. Yeah, with overtaking, just look it in your mirror before you do so, indicate, and then look again, and then just slowly merge, and then that is you in that lane. There's a few people who keep hogging lanes, like the overtake lane, but really what you should do, if there's a moment where there's nothing else coming, you should always go back in this lane. That's generally the etiquette for it. So for leaving a dual carriageway, I might just stay on this one for now. Leaving, you usually have these warning signs. Motorbike is going surprisingly slow. You have like countdown signs which are green and like white diagonal lines which count from 3, 2, 1. That's like markers until the next place you're coming out of. Keep your speeds the same throughout. I remember on my bike test, not my test, my training, sorry, I actually slows down on the markers, thinking it was like countdown to start, but doing so would make the cars behind wonder what the fuck you're doing, and it's actually dangerous, so don't do that. Keep your speed constant until you're actually on the slip roads. So like when you're joining a dual carriageway, when you're exiting, you use that remaining space to slow down, and it's usually like 70 to 30 or something like that, so bear that in mind. So I'll try and leave the dual carriageway at our next exit. I don't think there are marker signs in this game. Oh, another thing, this is an opportunity. So when you see cars coming from a slip road, as I said before, you have the priority. So it's up to them to slow down and do that. But if there's ever a chance you see them coming, and then if it's safe to do so, to help them out, you can then move into the next lane. It helps out, but you don't necessarily have to do that. You have priority. You're on the road, so yeah. But you might also have to do it in an emergency as well. You never know. It might be like a police chase or something. But it's really situational, and don't worry too much about that. So usually they split into lanes, and then, I'm going slow now, but keep your same speed, and then as soon as you're on this bit, then you can slow down for the following junction, roundabout or whatever. That's basically it. There might be some bits I've missed out or I've not really explained, so as usual, just take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not a qualified instructor or anything. Let them tell you and teach you how to do things. This whole series is basically just explaining roughly what I did. So yeah, that was that. We practiced them a few times, and he says you do go on a dual carriageway as part of your test, but you're not on it for an extended period of time. I think when I did mine, I was in it for 5 minutes, if that. Yeah, I'll explain what the test was like when I get to that. That was one of the last lessons where I was learning something new. I still don't enjoy dual carriageways really. When I got my car, I had to drive on one for 2 hours. Baptism by fire, I think I phrased it. But it did help me. It did help me calm down. Another thing which I was looking forward to in the car was actually having the radio on, or something on, while you're driving. And I do it every day now, and I love the atmosphere it has. It's really good. That city was quite far away. It was like half an hour driving. So did that, then all the way around the dual carriageways, then back, and I was pretty knackered at that point. It was a good lesson, but slightly scary as well. Maybe do a parallel park. When you're doing a parallel park, don't be too close. And then line up the front of their car with that. And then observations, and then full lock. And then very slowly, so when you're on like 45-degree angle, straighten the wheel. And then just go back slowly. And then when the mirror is like roughly this part of the car, then you can full lock. Well, you don't have to full lock, but to the other direction, and then slowly do that. Straighten the wheel, go back slightly more. And there we go. There's a crappy parallel park, but anyway, might be useful. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.